45. Every day. Scams. Everyone falls for. Check yourself. Most of us think we're too smart to get scammed. We hear the word scam, and we picture a shady email from a foreign prince, a guy in a trench coat selling fake watches, or a pop-up ad promising a free iPad. We see ourselves as savvy, informed consumers, capable of spotting deception from a mile away. But here's the brutal truth. The most successful scams in the world aren't illegal. They're not hiding in the dark corners of the internet. They are perfectly legal, mainstream, and socially accepted business practices that have turned deception into an art form. They are happening in broad daylight, in every store, on every website, and in every transaction. And we are not just the victims. We are willing participants. They have mastered the art of making us feel smart while they rob us blind. So, buckle up, because you are about to discover that the biggest scams aren't cons, they're business models. And you've almost certainly fallen for every single one of them. 1. Extended warranties. This is the undisputed king of paying for nothing. You've just spent $800 on a new television. As you're checking out, the cashier hits you with the fear. Are you sure you don't want the 3-year protection plan? Repairs are expensive. The scam is that you are literally buying insurance for your insurance. Most products already have a manufacturer's warranty that covers the most likely period of failure. The extended warranty is a high-profit lottery ticket sold by the retailer, betting on the high statistical probability that your device won't break in that specific window. The fine print is a labyrinth of exclusions, deductibles, and bureaucratic hoops designed to make you give up before you ever file a successful claim. You are paying a premium for peace of mind that is, for all practical purposes, an illusion. 2. Bottled water. The bottled water industry is arguably the greatest marketing triumph in human history. It convinced billions of people to pay over 2,000 times more for a product that flows almost for free from their own taps. For decades, companies spent fortunes on marketing designed to create a vague, unfounded fear of municipal water, while simultaneously selling you that very same municipal water, just filtered and put in a plastic bottle with a picture of a mountain on it. Many premium brands are just tap water from a city you don't live in. You're not paying for purity or health. You're paying for the convenience of the plastic bottle and the marketing campaign that convinced you to be afraid of your faucet. 3. Credit monitoring services. These services are masters of fear-based marketing. They bombard you with commercials about the terrifying threat of identity theft, then offer to protect you for a monthly fee. The scam is that they are charging you for information that you are legally entitled to check for free from the major credit bureaus. They are selling you a subscription to watch a number on a screen. The alerts they send are usually for normal activities, like applying for a credit card, which you would already know about. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on selling you a redundant, overpriced notification system for your own financial life. 4. Printer ink cartridges. The printer itself is cheap. Suspiciously cheap. That's because the printer isn't the product. It's the delivery system for the real product, the ink. Printer ink is one of the most expensive liquids on Earth, costing more per ounce than vintage champagne or human blood. The business model is a classic razor and blades scam. They sell you the printer at a loss to trap you in their ecosystem of proprietary ink cartridges. These cartridges are equipped with microchips designed to prevent you from using cheaper, third-party alternatives, and to convince you the cartridge is empty when there is still ink left inside. You're not just buying a printer. You're signing up for a long-term, high-cost ink subscription you never agreed to. 5. College textbooks. This is a captive market scam with students as the hostages. Publishers release new editions of textbooks every year with minimal changes, perhaps a few updated photos or reordered chapters, for one reason only: to kill the used book market. Professors are often incentivized to assign the latest edition, forcing students to buy a $300 book that will be worth less than $30 in 6 months. The core information is identical to last year's version, but because the page numbers are different, the older, cheaper edition becomes functionally useless for assignments. It's a racket designed to extract maximum profit from a demographic with the least amount of money. 6. Subscription boxes. The promise of a subscription box is a curated, personalized surprise delivered to your door each month. The reality is that it's often a way for companies to offload poorly selling, overstock, or sample-sized items that they couldn't sell in a regular retail environment. The personalization is usually based on a very basic quiz, and the value of the items inside is almost always inflated. You're paying a premium for the illusion of a personalized gift, when in reality, you're paying to receive a box of things you never would have chosen for yourself, from companies that have made canceling your subscription a deliberately difficult process. 7. Timeshares. The timeshare industry doesn't sell vacations. It sells a high-pressure, legally binding nightmare. They lure you in with the promise of a free weekend getaway or a set of theme park tickets, only to subject you to a multi-hour, psychologically manipulative sales pitch. They create a false sense of urgency and exclusivity, convincing you to sign a contract for a vacation property that loses over half its value the second you sign. What they don't emphasize are the ever-increasing, mandatory annual maintenance fees that you are legally locked into for life. It's a financial product with the liquidity of concrete, designed to be nearly impossible to exit. 8. Payday loans. Payday lenders position themselves as a helpful lifeline for people in a temporary financial bind. In reality, they are predatory debt traps. They offer small, short-term loans at astronomical interest rates that can have an APR of over 400%. The entire business model is built on the high probability that the borrower won't be able to pay the loan back on time, forcing them to roll over the loan and incur a new set of fees. This creates a cycle of debt where the borrower ends up paying many times the original loan amount and fees alone, turning a small emergency into a long-term financial catastrophe. 9. Free trials. The free trial is one of the most successful scams of the digital age. A company offers you a free month of their service requiring your credit card information up front for verification purposes. They are banking on one simple fact: you will forget to cancel. The cancellation process is often deliberately hidden or convoluted, requiring you to navigate a maze of menus or call a customer service line with limited hours. The entire model is based on profiting from your own inertia and forgetfulness, converting your temporary curiosity into a recurring monthly charge you never wanted. 10. Funeral home. Upselling. The funeral industry operates at the intersection of grief and commerce, and some unscrupulously exploit this. They prey on grieving families who are emotionally vulnerable and feel a social pressure to spend lavishly to honor their loved one. They use subtle emotional manipulation to upsell on things like expensive caskets for cremation, where the casket will be burned, elaborate embalming services that are not legally required, and premium flower packages. They have convinced society that the amount of money you spend is a direct measure of your love, turning a moment of profound loss into a high-pressure sales opportunity. 11. The wedding industry markup. Vendors have a magic word that allows them to instantly triple their prices: the word wedding. The exact same photographer who charges $500 for a family reunion will charge $2,500 for wedding photography. The same cake that would cost $100 for a birthday will cost $500 if it's a wedding cake. Vendors justify this with vague claims about the extra attention and high-stakes nature of a wedding. But in reality, it's just a surcharge on an emotional event. They know couples are emotionally invested and less likely to negotiate, so they created an entire industry based on a socially accepted price gouging scheme. 12. Multi-level marketing, MLM. MLMs disguise themselves as entrepreneurial business opportunities, but they are just legal pyramid schemes. The business model is not based on selling a product to the public, but on recruiting other people to become distributors. The vast majority of participants, over 99% in most cases, lose money. They are required to buy expensive starter kits and maintain a monthly product quota. They are then pressured to recruit their friends and family, turning their social network into a source of sales leads. The real customers are the distributors themselves, sold on a dream of financial independence that is mathematically impossible for all but the very few at the top of the pyramid. 13. The organic food premium. The organic label has become a marketing tool that allows supermarkets to charge a significant premium for products that are often not substantially healthier or safer than their conventional counterparts. The organic industry has masterfully built a narrative of fear around conventional farming, implying that non-organic food is tainted. In reality, the nutritional difference is often negligible, and the USDA's organic standards still allow for a wide range of synthetic pesticides and chemicals. You are paying a 40% markup not for a proven health benefit, but for a sense of virtuous consumerism. 14. Premium gasoline. At the gas pump, you're presented with a choice: regular, mid-grade, or premium. The implication is that premium is better for your car. For the vast majority of cars on the road, this is a complete lie. Your car's manufacturer specifies the minimum octane level required. Using a higher octane gas in an engine designed for regular provides absolutely no benefit. It doesn't improve performance, it doesn't clean your engine, and it doesn't improve fuel economy. It's a multi-billion-dollar scam based on tricking people into paying more for a product their car doesn't need. 15. Brand name medications. Pharmaceutical companies spend more money on marketing than on research and development for a reason. They have convinced society that brand name drugs are superior to their generic equivalents. The scam is that, by law, generic drugs must contain the exact same active ingredients in the same dosage and with the same efficacy as their brand name counterparts. You can pay $200 for a bottle of Advil, or you can pay $10 for a bottle of store-brand ibuprofen from the same shelf. You are paying a 20x markup for the brand name, the packaging, and the commercials. 16. Cable TV packages. The cable company business model is a masterclass in forced bundling. You want to watch 3 specific channels. To get them, you are forced to buy a package of 250 channels, 247 of which you will never, ever watch. They create artificial bundles and refuse to offer a la carte options to force you to pay for a bloated, overpriced service. They lure you in with a low introductory price that skyrockets after the first year, locking you into a long-term contract with steep cancellation fees. 17. Hotel resort fees. You book a hotel room online for what seems like a reasonable price. But when you check out, you're hit with a mandatory, non-negotiable resort fee or destination fee. This is a deceptive pricing scam. These fees supposedly cover amenities like Wi-Fi, the gym, or the pool things that any rational person would assume are included in the price of the room. It's a way for hotels to advertise a lower, more attractive price up front while artificially inflating the final cost after you've already committed to the booking. 18. Car dealership financing. The finance manager at a car dealership is not your friend. They are a salesperson whose job is to maximize the dealership's profit from your loan. They will often tell you that you've been approved at a certain interest rate, when in reality the bank approved you for a lower rate. The difference, called the spread, is pure profit for the dealership. They prey on the fact that most people are too exhausted after a long day of negotiating the car price to put up another fight over the financing. 19. Rent-to-own stores. These stores target low-income individuals with poor credit by offering them furniture, electronics, and appliances on a weekly payment plan. The scam is in the math. By the time all the payments are made, the customer will have paid 2 to 3 times the actual retail value of the item. A $500 television can end up costing $1,500. It's a predatory business model that disguises a high-interest loan as an affordable payment plan. 20. Bank overdraft fees. An overdraft protection program is one of the most deceptively named services in finance. It's not protection. It's a penalty. Banks will charge a steep fee, often around $35, for covering a transaction that overdraws your account, even if it's just by a few cents. Worse, they have been known to deliberately process transactions in a specific order, from largest to smallest, to maximize the number of overdrafts triggered from a single day of spending, turning one mistake into a cascade of fees. 21. Gym memberships. The entire business model of most large gyms is built on the fact that you will stop going. They sell far more memberships than their facilities can actually accommodate, because they know that the majority of people who sign up in a fit of New Year's resolution will stop showing up by March, but will continue to be billed. They make the cancellation process notoriously difficult, requiring certified letters or in-person visits, hoping you'll just give up and let the monthly payments continue to drain from your account. 22. Free mobile games. The game is free to download, but the moment you start playing, you are funneled into a psychologically manipulative system designed to get you to make in-app purchases. The game is engineered to be just frustrating enough that you'll be tempted to pay a few dollars for a power-up, to skip a waiting period, or to get more lives. These microtransactions are designed to feel small, but they are targeted at a small percentage of users, known as whales, who will spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on a free game. 23. Tax preparation services. For decades, tax preparation companies have successfully lobbied the U.S. government to prevent the creation of a simplified, free, government-run tax filing system, like the ones that exist in many other developed countries. They have a vested interest in keeping the tax code complicated. They then turn around and charge you a significant fee for a service that, for the majority of people with simple returns, shouldn't even be necessary. They profit from a problem they actively help to create. 24. Phone insurance. You've just bought a $1,000 smartphone. The salesperson pressures you into buying phone insurance for a monthly fee. The scam is that the math rarely works out in your favor. You pay a monthly premium, and if you do break your phone, you still have to pay a large deductible that is often close to the cost of a used replacement phone. The policies are filled with exclusions, and they often replace your brand new phone with a refurbished one. In most cases, you're better off just putting that monthly fee into a savings account. 25. Vitamin and mineral supplements. The supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar empire built on selling hope in a bottle. For the vast majority of people who eat a reasonably balanced diet, most vitamin and mineral supplements are completely unnecessary and provide no proven health benefits. The industry operates with very little FDA oversight, allowing companies to make vague, unproven claims about boosting immunity or improving brain function. You're often paying a premium for expensive placebos that your body will just excrete. 26. The lottery. The lottery is often called a tax on people who are bad at math, and that's exactly what it is. The odds of winning are so astronomically low that buying a ticket is, from a statistical standpoint, equivalent to setting your money on fire. State lotteries market themselves as a fun diversion that funds education, but in reality, they disproportionately target low-income communities with a message of false hope, selling the fantasy of escaping poverty through pure luck rather than financial planning. 27. Concert ticket fees. You see a concert ticket advertised for $50. You get to the checkout page, and after a convenience fee, a facility fee, and a processing fee, the final price is $85. This is a deceptive pricing scam run by ticketing companies that have a monopolistic control over major venues. They can add these arbitrary, non-negotiable fees because they know you have no other choice. The convenience fee is particularly insulting. It's a fee for the privilege of buying something from their website, which is their only method of selling it. 28. Detoxes and cleanses. The detox industry profits from scientific illiteracy. They sell you expensive juices, teas, and supplements that claim to cleanse your body of unspecified toxins. The scam is that you already have a highly effective built-in detox system, your liver and your kidneys. These organs are constantly filtering your blood and eliminating waste products. Most detox products are, at best, unnecessary, and at worst, they can be harmful. You're paying for a medically meaningless process that your body is already doing for free. 29. Dynamic pricing. Have you ever looked up a flight, checked the price again an hour later, and found that it has gone up? That's dynamic pricing. Online retailers, airlines, and hotel booking sites use sophisticated algorithms to change prices based on your browsing history, your location, and the current demand. They know you're interested, so they raise the price to create a sense of urgency. You're not seeing a fixed price. You're seeing a price that has been personally manipulated to get you to buy right now. 30. Professional resume writers. These services prey on the anxiety of job seekers. They charge hundreds of dollars to professionally write your resume. The scam is that for most people, they are simply taking the information you provide and plugging it into a standardized template that you could have found online for free. They use buzzwords and fancy formatting, but they don't provide any secret formula for getting a job. They are selling confidence, not a tangible advantage. 31. Premium coffee. A grande latte at a major coffee chain can cost over $5. The actual cost of the ingredients, the espresso shot, the milk, the sugar, is less than 50 cents. You are not paying for the coffee. You're paying for the brand experience, the comfortable chairs, the free Wi-Fi, and the perceived social status of walking around with their logo on your cup. They have successfully turned a cheap commodity into a luxury lifestyle accessory. 32. Diet programs. Most commercial diet programs are designed for repeat business. They promise rapid weight loss through restrictive plans or proprietary, expensive prepackaged foods. And they often work in the short term. But they are not designed to be sustainable. The moment you stop the program, the weight comes back on. This is not a failure of the program. It is the secret to its success. The industry profits from the cycle of loss and regain, ensuring that you will be a customer for life. 33. Timeshare exit companies. This is a scam built on top of another scam. After people are trapped in a timeshare they can't afford or get out of, a new industry of timeshare exit companies emerges, promising to free them from their contracts for a large upfront fee. They prey on the desperation of owners. In many cases, these companies do little more than what the owner could have done themselves. Or worse, they take the money and disappear, leaving the owner in an even bigger financial hole. 34. Home security monitoring. For a monthly fee, a security company will monitor your home. The scam is that with modern DIY security systems that send alerts directly to your smartphone, this monitoring service is largely redundant. These companies charge you for a person in a call center to do what your phone already does automatically. They provide a minimal level of additional protection while profiting from a cultivated fear of home invasions. 35. Unnecessary dealership add-ons. When you buy a car, the finance manager will try to sell you a list of add-ons, like Vienne etching, fabric protection, and paint protection. These are almost always absurdly overpriced and offer little to no real value. You can get VN etching done yourself for a fraction of the price, and fabric protection is essentially a can of Scotchgard that they charge you hundreds of dollars for. It's a last-ditch effort to squeeze more profit out of the sale. 36. Going out of business. Sales. You see the giant red signs, "Everything must go. Final days." It feels like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a bargain. The scam is that many of these sales are a complete fabrication. A company will buy out the inventory of a failing store, or bring in cheap, low-quality merchandise specifically for the sale. They create a false sense of urgency to sell you goods at prices that are often no better than a regular sale. 37. Professional installation services. You buy a new TV or a ceiling fan, and the store offers to have it professionally installed for a hefty fee. The scam is that many of these items are specifically designed to be easily installed by the consumer. The store profits from creating the illusion that a basic household task requires professional expertise. They are selling a solution to a problem that, for most people with a screwdriver and a YouTube tutorial, doesn't exist. 38. For-profit colleges. These institutions often target vulnerable students with aggressive, misleading advertising, promising them a fast track to a high-paying career. The scam is that their degrees are often unaccredited and worthless in the job market, while their tuition fees are astronomical. They saddle students with crippling federal loan debt, which the school gets to keep while providing a substandard education. It's a predatory business model that exploits the dream of self-improvement. 39. Charity scams. After a natural disaster or during the holidays, fake charities pop up, preying on people's generosity. They use names that sound very similar to legitimate, well-known organizations. They set up convincing websites and call centers. They take your donation, intended to help those in need, and simply pocket it. It's a scam that not only steals money but also erodes public trust in genuine charitable giving. 40. Mindfulness and meditation apps. These apps charge a monthly subscription fee for access to guided meditations and relaxation techniques. The scam is not that they don't work. It's that they have monetized a practice that is, by its very nature, free. The content they are selling, basic breathing exercises, mindfulness techniques, is freely and widely available through public libraries, websites, and community groups. They have put a paywall on peace of mind. 41. Cryptocurrency, gurus, and courses. With the rise of cryptocurrencies, a new breed of scam artist has emerged: the crypto guru. They sell expensive online courses, private chat groups, and investment signals, promising to teach you the secrets of getting rich with Bitcoin. The scam is that they are providing generic, high-level information that is available for free online. They profit from the fear of missing out, FOMO, selling a fantasy of easy wealth to people who don't understand the complex and volatile nature of the market. 42. Premium pet food. Pet food companies use sophisticated marketing to convince you that their expensive, premium food is essential for your pet's health. They use words like ancestral, grain-free, and holistic. The scam is that, as long as a food meets the industry's basic nutritional standards, the expensive brands are often not demonstrably better than the cheaper store brands. You are paying for a marketing narrative that plays on your emotional attachment to your pet. 43. Financial advisors who work on commission. A financial advisor who is paid by commission rather than a flat fee is not working for you. They are working for the commission. They are incentivized to sell you financial products, like high-fee mutual funds and annuities, that may not be in your best interest but will earn them the biggest payout. It's a fundamental conflict of interest disguised as professional advice. 44. Made in the USA. Loopholes. You buy a product with a big Made in the USA label, feeling good about supporting domestic manufacturing. The scam is that, due to legal loopholes, a product can be labeled this way as long as it is substantially all made in the US. This allows companies to import most of the components from overseas and then do the final, simple assembly in the US to legally slap on the label. It's a deceptive practice that misleads patriotic consumers. 45. The illusion of choice. And finally, the biggest scam of all. You walk into a supermarket and see 100 different brands of snacks, drinks, and cleaning supplies. You believe you are in a paradise of consumer choice. The scam is that most of these competing brands are actually owned by the same 10 or 11 massive parent corporations. The competition is an illusion. You're not choosing between different companies. You're just choosing between different marketing campaigns run by the same corporate giant. Your freedom of choice is often just the freedom to choose which of their products you're going to buy. Here's the brutal, uncomfortable truth. These scams work not because we are stupid, but because they are built into the very fabric of our economy. They are not exceptions to the rule. They are the rule. They are the product of decades of sophisticated marketing, psychological research, and legislative lobbying, all designed to separate you from your money in the most efficient way possible. The biggest scam of all is the one that has convinced you that this is normal, that being constantly upsold, misled, and overcharged is just the price of doing business. The only way to win is to stop playing their game. It's time to start questioning everything, every fee, every label, every special offer. The real power is not in what you buy, it's in what you refuse to fall for. Subscribe if you're ready to stop being a customer and start being a skeptic.